When we picture an island getaway, we usually imagine white sand and clear water. But scattered across the deep ocean, there are patches of land where that isolation takes a very different form. We are tracking 10 specific islands where making a single mistake or simply stepping foot on the shore ends your life. When a landmass is cut off for thousands of years, the environment begins to change. Without external interference, local threats multiply unseen, creating a landscape that eventually rejects human presence entirely. Just off the coast of Brazil lies Ilha da Queimada Grande, known globally as Snake Island. The risks here are high enough that the Brazilian government has established a complete ban on human entry. The island is the only home of the golden lancehead viper. Its venom has evolved to be exceptionally fast-acting, dissolving human body tissue and preventing blood from clotting within minutes of a strike. At the population's peak, researchers found a density of one venomous snake for every square meter of land. In this environment, every step is a potential encounter with a lethal predator. In India's Bay of Bengal, North Sentinel Island represents a different kind of barrier. Surrounded by a shallow reef, this heavily forested land has remained almost entirely disconnected from the outside world. The Sentinelese tribe maintains total isolation by force. They view any approach as a threat, a policy that resulted in the fatal 2018 encounter with an American missionary who attempted to land on their beach. Whether protected by a carpet of vipers or an ancient warrior tribe, these islands demonstrate how absolute isolation violently discourages outside contact. Vozrajnia Island in Central Asia hides a silent threat. During the Cold War, the Soviet Union used this remote outpost to test biological weapons, leaving behind a ruined concrete shell. Strains of anthrax and the plague were released here, and the contamination has persisted in the soil and air for decades. You can breathe in a lethal dose before you even realize you've crossed into a danger zone. A more visceral historical threat occurred on Ramri Island in Myanmar. In 1945, a large group of Japanese soldiers attempted to retreat through the island's dense mangrove swamps. They were intercepted by thousands of saltwater crocodiles. By morning, hundreds of soldiers had been pulled beneath the water, marking one of the largest crocodile attacks in recorded history. On Indonesia's Komodo Island, the threat is an apex predator that reaches 10 feet in length. The Komodo dragon is a living relic of the prehistorical world, ruling its territory with total dominance. Their hunting method is methodical. They deliver a bite that injects a specialized venom, which causes a massive drop in the victim's blood pressure, leading to shock and death. From prehistoric lizards to humanity's scientific errors, these islands act as containers that keep dangerous forces alive long after they should have disappeared. Japan's Miyakojima Island is dominated by an active volcano that constantly vents toxic sulfur dioxide. The air quality is so unpredictable that residents are required to carry gas masks at all times. In the mid-20th century, the Pacific's Bikini Atoll was used for over 20 nuclear bomb tests. The explosions permanently altered the island's environment, leaving it radioactive and unsafe for human habitation. Poveglia Island in Italy carries a different kind of scar. It served as a mass isolation site during the Black Death and later as an asylum, creating a legacy of death and abandonment that remains visible in its ruins. The Farallon Islands off the U.S. coast present two dangers simultaneously. The waters are a major hotspot for great white sharks, while the seabed around the islands contains thousands of barrels of dumped radioactive waste. From volcanic gases to nuclear fallout, these environments have reached a threshold where they no longer support human life. Canada's Sable Island appears unassuming from a distance, presenting itself as little more than a simple sandbar in the North Atlantic. Known as the graveyard of the Atlantic, its shifting dunes and violent storms have swallowed over 350 ships. The island's geography creates a physical trap that makes navigation nearly impossible for those seeking land. Ships often mistake the shoreline for a safe harbor, only to find their hulls torn apart by the hidden currents and the constant movement of the sand. The isolation we often find beautiful often hides the world's most lethal conditions. Some corners of the Earth demand to be left alone. The safest way to witness these islands is keeping the danger strictly behind your screen. To see more explorations of the world's most mysterious and dangerous locations, subscribe to the channel. Let us know in the comments which hidden territory you want us to uncover next.